Good morning, PawPrints. It is a new week, it's a new day, and we are going to get started right away. So if you will join me in the pledge to the American flag, right up there, I'll turn it so you can see it. We will stand and say our pledges. It looks like another beautiful day today, so I'm anxious to get outside. And I did get my flowers planted like I told you on Friday. So out front, we've got some flowers on the mailbox and on the porch. So it was a good weekend. I hope you had a good weekend. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start off with our pledge like we always do. Ready? Your right hand over your heart. Here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and I've got a poem for you like I always do. This poem is called Jesus Sees Me. Let's see. Show you the picture. That's on one side, and then this is on the other side. If I open it up, maybe you can see both. Because the poem talks about when Jesus sees us. Jesus sees me when I sleep. Jesus sees me when I play. Jesus sees me all the time, every night and every day. We've talked a lot about that over the year, haven't we? Whether it's nighttime or daytime, he's always watching over us. I want you to remember two words from that poem, play and day, because we're going to talk about that a little bit later when we get to our phonics lesson. So, our Bible story today, today and tomorrow, we're going to talk about some of the miracles that Jesus did when he had his ministry here on earth. A miracle is something that is very special, something so wonderful that only God could do it. We could try different things, but a miracle is something that only God can do. And so the miracle we're going to talk about today happened at a wedding. I don't know if you've ever been to a wedding, or maybe you were even in a wedding. The girls, maybe you were a little flower girl and dropped petals along the aisle, or maybe you were the ring bearer and you carried the rings on a pillow. You might have been in a wedding, or you might have just gone to one and seen one. But they're very, very special, especially to the families of the bride and the groom. And the bride, it's very, very special. It's something that they remember every year. Have your mom and dad celebrated an anniversary? That's a big word, but that's the day they celebrate the day they got married. So weddings are very important, and they were important back in Jesus's day too. Whenever somebody got married, all of the village came to help celebrate the bride and groom. Do you remember when we were, right before school stopped, we had the wedding of the letters Q and U because they always are together. Well, weddings are still important, and they were important back in Jesus's day. And what happened at this wedding, it's the place where Jesus did his first miracle. And so it's in the Bible. Our friend, our disciple, John, remember we talked about him last week. He had a brother named James. Remember, there was Peter and Andrew, and then James and John. We talked about those four disciples. John wrote about this special day in the book, in the chapter 2, that Jesus and the disciples were invited to come to this very special wedding in the village. But something happened. They ran out of things to drink. And back in Jesus' time, they drank wine. And Mary, Jesus' mother, talked to him, and she went over and said, they've run out of wine. And so Jesus, he didn't want, I think he felt sorry for them. He didn't want them to be embarrassed or feel bad. I mean, you can imagine how they would feel. Or maybe I know how I would feel if I invited everybody to a party. Maybe I invited up my class. I invited you to come, and you brought your not just your mom and dad, but you brought your brothers or sisters with you. And I ran out of juice boxes or something. I would feel terrible. I would be so embarrassed that I didn't have enough, and I would feel bad. And so Jesus, because he cared about the bride and groom and their families, he didn't want them to be upset or to be embarrassed about that. So he did his first miracle. And so I'm going to show you what I did. This is not a miracle, but this is what he told the servants to do. He said, I want you to go and I want you to fill up all the jugs and barrels that you can with water. And I want you to bring them over. And so that's what they did. They went and they got water. And I'm going to see if I can fix my camera so that you can see this. So they got water and they brought it and they filled up the jugs of water and filled them all the way up to the top. And then Jesus prayed about it, and they began to serve. And what came out of the barrel was not water, but it was some very good wine or grape juice. And when the people began to taste it and drink it, they said, we've never had anything like this before. This is the very, very best that we've ever had. Because when Jesus does something, he does something that's always the very, very best. He turned the water into the wine or grape juice. So that was not a miracle. I had some ahead of time, but I wanted to show you what it was like. He poured water into the jugs and he prayed about it, and a miracle happened. He turned the water into the wine, into grape juice, and the people were so thankful. And the couple that got married, they were so relieved and happy that they were able to serve all of their guests and to continue this great celebration. A wedding is a really happy time for families and friends, and especially for the bride and groom as they begin their married life together. So I think it's very special that Jesus did his first miracle at a wedding to show people how much he cared about them. So that's our first miracle. Tomorrow we're going to talk about another miracle that Jesus did that involved a little boy, somebody maybe just like you. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. But today, I'm going to fix my camera again. I want us to talk about that letter Y. Do you remember on Friday, we talked about how Y can sometimes be a vowel. We said that there's 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. And so we talked about how sometimes in the word fly or cry, that Y makes a long I sound. Well, what I want us to do today is I want us to look at this word, pray, P-R-A-Y. Because, and do you remember in our poem I said to be listening for that word pray and play and every day? Well, what happens is when Y is with another vowel, it works like our two-friend rule. You remember when we had words like, let me see if you can see, boat, remember we have the two vowels together, O and A. And we said the second vowel is quiet, and it says, you're my friend, so I'm going to let you, the first vowel, do the talking. And it says it's what? Long sound or short sound? Absolutely. It says the long sound. So when the letter Y is next to a vowel, it's going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take the word day. Today is Monday. All right. So it's D-A-Y. All right. So because Y is acting like a vowel, saying that long sound, it's going to be quiet and let A say its word, say its name, A. So this would be the word day, day. All right, and then we had the word in our P-R, pr, and then A-Y. Again, we have that A-Y sound where Y is silent. It's quiet and lets A say its long sound, A. So we have the word pray. So day and pray, and something that you guys like to do, I know, is go outside and play. Play. So how would we do that? P, P. All right, I'm going to put it up here. L. That's that other sound. Pl, pl. And then what? A-Y. Play. Y works like a vowel because it's next to another vowel, and it's quiet. So it lets A say its long sound. Play. All right, I've made a list of words, and we'll see if you can. I'm going to erase these, and I'm going to put them on the board, and we're going to see if we can figure them out, and see if you can figure them out at home. So, get my eraser. All right, so we're gonna start first of all with P-A-Y. All right, this one's easy. We have just the P sound, P, and then quiet, long, pay, pay. All right, mommies and daddies always like what? Payday. Hey, there's a candy bar named Payday. Just reminded me. All right, how about this? What the horses eat. H-A-Y. All right, it's gonna say that long A sound. What's H say? Remember, if you put your hand in front of your mouth, a little bit comes out. Hay, hay. Horses eat hay. All right, what about, let's see, this one. It's a capital letter, M-A-Y. Now remember, if it's a capital letter, that means what? It's either a name or the beginning of a sentence. So May. May is the name of a month. We're in the month of March. Tomorrow's the last day of March. And then we have April, and then what? May, right. All right. Do you remember the song? January, February, March, and April, May. There's our word. May, June, July, and August. September, October, November, December. These are the months of the year. So coming up is the month of May. M-A-Y. It says that long sound. All right, what about the word J-A-Y? All right, J says J, J, and A, that long A sound, J. Have you ever seen a blue jay in your backyard? We've got a little blue jay family that comes and uses the bird bath in the afternoon. So it's lots of fun to look for them. Alrighty, we're going to do just a couple of more words, and then I'll talk to you about something that I want you to work on. Let's try another word. How about the word, this one, L-A-Y. Okay, long A sound. Before you go to bed at night, do you say the little prayer, now I lay me down to sleep? Yeah, I taught that to Will when he was little and would say that prayer. Lay, all right? And then, let's see, let's do one more. Okay. S-A-Y. All right, say. We talk about this, and I use this word a lot whenever I say, whenever it comes out of my mouth, whenever I say this vowel, well, what? Be quiet so the other one can say its name. All right, say. That's something that you, whenever you talk, you are saying something. Saying something. All right. Now, I told you last week that we were going to start talking about boys and girls from around the world. And so what I wanted to do was get our globe out and share with you where we're going to go this week and where we're going to, what we're going to talk about. So let me grab our globe. I brought it from our school room. All right. So here we are in the United States. This is us right here. And why do we have a globe? It's round because why? The earth is round. That's right. All right, so here's the United States, all these different little colors. How many states are there? Do you remember? 50. And on our flag, we have 50 stars. That's right. 1 star for every state. 50 states. We have one country, but there's 50 states. So we live in, here we go, down here in Georgia. If we were going to go to England, that's where we're going to talk about this week. We would have to get on the plane and fly across the ocean over to this tiny little place right here. England is an island. An island means a piece of land that's surrounded by water. And I don't know if you can really see, but there's water all around England, or it's called the United Kingdom, because there's Scotland and Wales and England, they're all together. So we would have to, like I said, either take an airplane or take a boat to get across. Can't drive because of all this water. And so they say, oh, you've come from across the pond, but it's a big pond, isn't it? Yeah, if you were in a little pond, you could just row across in a boat or something like that. But the Atlantic Ocean is a big old pond, so we would have to fly across the ocean to get there. Now, I can say, Miss McGuire, I was there. I've been to England 2 times, and I got to go to schools and see boys and girls over there and learn how they do their schools and how they do their classes, and it was very interesting. And they do a lot of the same things that we do, and they do some things that are different. But I love going over there. If you know Miss Rita, she's come and she's talked to us. You know that she is from England, and so she doesn't talk like we do. She has that little British accent, lovely, with a spot of tea. And you know Miss McGuire loves her tea. So we're going to be talking about England and some of the things that you might see there, some of the things that you might try if you go there to eat. Try some of their food that they eat. They eat a lot of the same things that we do, but they have some things that are different, and some of the different names that they have for things that we call them something very different. So we're going to talk about that, but I wanted to show you our on our globe where we're going. You know, last time, before we had to leave school, we were down south in Mexico, and we ate some corn chips, and we learned to count to 10 in Spanish. But now we're going to go, like I said, we're going to go across the pond. It's lovely. And then we're going to go over here, and we're going to talk about England this week. So I hope that you have a great day today. I hope you had a good weekend. It was so pretty outside, and it looks like another beautiful day today. So I will see you tomorrow. We're going to keep talking about our phonics and A words, and we're going to add some different things. We're going to keep talking about a miracle tomorrow and how a little boy, just like you guys in my classroom, helped Jesus. Can you believe that? A little boy helped Jesus to do a great, great miracle. And then we're going to keep talking about our friends and what it would be like to live over in England, going across the pond and have a spot of tea. So I will see you all tomorrow. Have a great day. And always remember, I'd say all the time, that Jesus loves you and so do I. I will see you tomorrow, boys and girls.